morning everyone, this is Kat from Kokoro&me. Welcome to another brand new video, and today we're going to furnish the British semi-detached house we've been building in the last video. So if you're interested in the build and the landscaping part of this build, then feel free to click the link in the description below, so I'll make sure to put it in there. And without further ado, let's get into the build. So we're starting off with a tiny 2x2 bathroom, and this is basically somewhat of a guest bathroom. So in any of the British homes I've been to or I've been living in, there was always a tiny bathroom somewhere, so your guests have somewhere to go without having to basically invade your privacy too much, even though I personally wouldn't mind that. So I've been watching lots of 60-minute home makeover shows, as well as been observing all of the marketing materials from new homes quite a lot lately, just because we're looking into buying a home at some point as well. And of course I'd like to rather have a new home than a, I don't know, 20-30-year-old home you have to put a lot of DIY stuff into. So I noticed there's always quite a very specific style the home designers do when it comes to the interior. So the walls are always very colorful, and you've got, so in general, when I design my home or do anything, it's usually quite minimalist, so quite, I don't know, white walls and very simple. But when it comes to British designed homes, they always feel very, very colorful and designed through, so a little bit like upscaled or uplifted in a way. So I decided to make this style kind of what I wanted to do with this home, as well as this looks rather like a new build than an old home anyway. So we will have lots of colorful walls and colors in general, which is something you don't see from me that very often. But let's see how this will basically pan out. A good example to start with is basically the hallway we're looking at the moment. So it's quite minimalist. It does have lots of color in there, so grey walls, as well as any red elements such as the carpet or the rug, as well as the picture that's hanging on the wall and the little sideboard area. So we don't really have much space anyway, so I decided to kind of keep it that way. Moving on to, we're currently looking at the living room area, and at this point I was trying to explore any patterned wallpapers, because I noticed that there's one specific element British homes kind of have a lot as well when they are nicely designed or thought through, and that is colorful wallpaper or feature walls. So you have lots of colors in general. So whereas whenever I look at homes in Germany or homes I have lived in, we used to have it quite minimalist. So the walls were mostly white or in one color, or if you had a feature wall, it would only be one wall and the rest would be still white, and the furniture would be white or wooden texture or anything. Whereas here in the UK, you do really splash out in color. So if you do have, I don't know, purple patterned feature wall, you might as well have purple painted walls around it or anything, so the whole room turns kind of purple and really colorful and fresh. So I wanted to incorporate this into my build, but sadly, when I was exploring the wallpapers that The Sims 4 has to offer, there weren't really that many to choose from, and not many I liked. And because I'm not really a massive fan of CC, although that might be a solution to look into, I tried my hardest to kind of make this a little bit colorful in general. But yeah, let's see how this will pan out. Another thing I noticed is that I would totally wish for any cool wallpapers for kitchen areas. So usually in kitchens you do have a half and half wall, where the top bit is either a wallpaper or a painted wall, but the bottom bit is something splash safe. So when you're cooking or anything oily or anything and it splashes anywhere, that you can at least wipe it off or it doesn't get too dirty. But yeah, we don't really have much there either, so usually I go for any brick walls just because it looks stylish, I guess. Moving on to the dining room area, which is somewhat connected to the kitchen, so it's somewhat of an open space area. So the kitchen and the dining room area don't really have a wall that separates them, which is kind of nice. So when people are cooking in the kitchen and you're sitting in the dining area or anywhere like this, you can still communicate and have a nice chat or anything whilst cooking, as well as there's lots of space. And I quite like it when the smell of the kitchen, so whenever someone's cooking a really, really, really nice meal, whenever that smell kind of travels into other rooms, although I wouldn't prefer it in a bedroom, I guess. So we've got quite a lot of walls in this dining room area, so I decided to add some little shelf compartments. I don't really know what they are, but they basically have lots of cutlery and dishes in there on display. So I thought that's quite nice because we're in a dining room where you most likely will be using something like this. And usually, so knowing from my family, we used to have anything like this as well, where we really had our special occasion dishes, so for Christmas or birthdays or anything. So that was being taken out anytime there was a big party or anything. So maybe this kind of shelf unit could be representative of that. I know we've been using this sideboard in the hallway already. For some reason, I've got a real thing about it because it's, I guess, not as deep as any other tables or side tables in a way. So it's really nice to plunk it into tiny areas where you feel like you don't really want to go too much into the room when it comes from a size perspective. So I really like these, and I need to stop overusing them or trying to find other ones. But I guess for this build, when you're focusing on white items, then it's really hard because you don't really have much choice for that. Meanwhile, in the build video, we've moved on to the little conservatory room. So we have lots of windows, basically all of the windows that are pointing, all of the walls that are pointing outside are basically full of big windows. So it's quite nice as a little nature room, I guess. So I decided to just add a little comfy seating area towards the little fireplace in there. So you do have a little cozy escape if you ever want to get your mind off something or so. I think the living room was the part I struggled with the most, just because I wanted to make it really typically British, but I couldn't really find the items that I would need for that. So I looked at lots of sideboards as well as any shelving units I could combine with it, because usually you have like a little compact area, and even if you try to use counters or anything, they just rather feel kitcheny in a way, so don't really fit. And the next issue usually is finding any good looking sofas, because for some reason all of the sofas the Sims 4 has, with all of the expansion packs and other packs in general, they all look really boxy or squarey and really uncomfortable. None of them have pillows, and I think that's really not really realistic or representative of how sofas usually are in general, like everywhere in the world kind of thing. So I struggle with that the most, although I've settled for somewhat of a modern, I guess it kind of looks a bit like a Chesterfield in a way. So we've got a 3-seat sofa there, and the room colors are somewhat white, grey, brownish in a way. So I decided to make use of the color scheme that is being delivered through the little tree wallpaper we've got in the feature wall there. And this is one of the walls I was talking about earlier, so something quite nice. But yeah, there's not much choice. I think the trees, winter trees, were the only thing I could really find that was somewhat representative of what I had in mind. So yeah, that's all we've got there. Anyways, moving on to the tiny little cozy corner there, I decided to add a little table with a lamp, as well as 2 of the armchairs that I think are from the same set as the sofa. So you've got a little area, and with the bookcase closed, you might want to basically grab a book and enjoy your time there a little bit. Moving on to pet items, I know we've kind of got a little doghouse in the garden, and at that point when I was building it, I wasn't really entirely sure what I really wanted to do with this pet wise, if it's for a cat, a dog, and then if it's for a dog, if it's for a small or a big one. But yeah, I've just added lots of items, so you should be ready if you're downloading this from the Sims 4 gallery. So in the dining room area, we've got a little archway towards a tiny room, which you've just seen, and I wanted this room to be somewhat of a storage room as well as a laundry room or anything, but we don't really have any items, so I just plunked in some shelvings there anyways. But I can't wait for the laundry pack expansion to come out, and then I think this room will really shine in a way. So yeah, hopefully this will come out soon. Anyways, moving on to the upstairs, so we've got a little, well, not really a little, it's kind of a larger hallway area there, so I decided to make this the creative / activity area of the family. So we've got a computer as well as a little I guess creative area in a way, so your Sims can definitely play on their skills, and they've got anything they need, and if they're bored, they've got a little hub there where they can basically spend the time in. Apologies as well if the audio sounds a bit choppy. I had to cut it quite a lot and kind of make lots of breaks just because I was, as I said in the video before, was really ill during Christmas. And you know, when you have a massive flu or cold or anything like this, you usually carry a massive cough afterwards for like, I don't know how long, at least like a month or two. So I'm basically suffering from this, and the more I talk, the more I have to cough as well. So I have to constantly cut out my coughs or basically do an emergency pause or break whilst recording just so I can cough my life out of my body. And so yeah, the audio will be a little bit choppy, and apologies for that, but I hope it's not too bad. Anyways, moving back onto the build, we're currently looking at one of the two bedrooms we've got, and I decided to make this a kid's bedroom, and in this case it will be a teenage daughter's bedroom. So we do have a normal single bed, and then we've got lots of pinkish or girly items in there, which I quite like. And because we've got so many little angular corners in there, you could place furniture really well. And of course, all of the bedrooms have their inbuilt wardrobes anyway, so you kind of naturally have a nice little tangent of little corner areas anyways, and you can place lots of decorative items here and there, which is kind of nice. So meanwhile, we've just jumped over the master bathroom, or however you would call it, so the family bathroom, which has a bathtub, and it's quite narrow, so it's not really great in regards to placing items. However, I think it does the job. In hindsight, I could have connected this one to the other bedroom, so the teenage daughter's bedroom, but I decided to have one family bathroom available for everyone who's living there. So the master bedroom, which we're looking at the moment, will be the parents' bedroom, or kind of the bigger bedroom, I guess, and that one has an ensuite bathroom as well. And because I really wanted to decorate rooms really colorful, I somehow went with a somewhat grassy green for the master bedroom, which I didn't really like in the end. So whenever you're downloading this lot from the Sims 4 gallery, the master bedroom will have a different color scheme. I think I changed it to somewhat of dark blues or so to also fit the ensuite bathroom, which we're going to see in a second. Anyways, I decided because we've got a inbuilt closet, we've kind of got a lot of space in this room, so I wanted to add a dressing table to it, which is kind of nicer for the mom to kind of do her makeup, hair, and whatever she really needs to do. So I thought that's really nice. And because the ensuite bathroom is so spacious, you could add some counters. You've got a shower and a bathtub and lots of space for clutter, etc. So that's really nice, I thought. But yeah, in the end, this is the British semi-detached house. The interior design of it, I'm quite happy with it. I really like the dining room and kitchen area. For some reason, I really like the color, and I usually don't go for much color, so that's really good. Either way, we've got lots of charming rooms. We even have a little storage room as well as a creativity room upstairs. An example bedroom here as well as an example bathroom, so there are quite a lot. But yeah, this is the semi-detached house build. I hope you like the furnishing area. If you want to have a look at the build of this, once again, feel free to click the link in the description below, or I will just place the link here anyway. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, have a nice Sunday. Bye bye.